Good evening. Now I'm going to explain the assignment 4 for the computer simulation. So the first question is so basically this assignment is all about the airport traffic and how we can manage the traffic, how we can reduce the waiting time, how we can reduce the expenses. So this is all about that. So I will explain one by one how these questions are. So first of all, identify the sequence of event for this example. So when I enter the airport, from starting from check-in to boarding, there are so many events happening in between. So we don't know how long we can calculate the amount time it will take by counting the time of events happening. So first event will happen when we go in the check-in. So on the check-in, it depends on the three type of case. Like if you already have checked in at home, you have less wait time. Then for pilot or any other personal airport assistant, they have a priority queue, so they may have a different event. And if you didn't have checked in, then you have to wait for your turn, and that time varies depending on the people standing in the queue. So second event is like if that is a big airport, like you have to travel from one check-in point to one security point. So this traveling time will also count as one event. Third is like event of wait in the security line. It has no effect for the passenger with the priority queue or any pilot or any other person, but if you're not, then you can imagine. Even of checking things in security, there are different events like bag checking, then ID check, body check, extra event if you found something wrong. So overall amount of time it will take from check-in to sitting in the plane is a result of set of events, and each has random time associated with it. Second question is what type of expenses associated with the sequence of event in the airport. So there are simulations where random waits occur and that costs monies to maintain. Suppose in this example there are expenses associated with the sequence of event in addition to the time we spend waiting. So it depends on such factors like the number of agents working at the check-in, number of security booths operating, and each person employed is an expense, as in each machines, all lights and power, all the services show some expenses, right? So how the employed workers are doing their job to take care of the customers also compute to that throughput. So if a greater number of system is used, system means more booths or more people or more systems, then more people can be served, and it increase the more server cost will also increase. So if we know how many people will be traveling through an airport on a given day and how many or how few staff do we need, will actually help to get the profit, and we can serve customer nicely also. So the third question is, what do you think the reason for building such simulation in this example? As I said earlier, that if we know how many people will be traveling through an airport on a given day and how many or how few staff do, then we will actually help to get the profit. So if we have a simulation model which shows like a number of passenger to handle without making them wait, or less amount of wait, or how much system or server we need to serve the customer, as well as it can show the actual amount of time taken for passengers to reach from check-in to boarding, and system can be planned accordingly. This looks little easy, but if there is a big airport with more than 100 gates and different entry doors and a busy airport, it really saves lot of time and manage accordingly with the simulation process. So it may also help for departing the flight on the right time, because every process is going smoothly and you know how much time it will take, so you can plan accordingly, like boarding should be this time or a check-in should be this time, like that. And is building a simulation appropriate for this example? Yes, simulation of this system has a practical value actually. So it reduces the potential time customers spend on waiting, and a simulation would allow aspects of the system to be changed to see how it affects the waiting time. It will change some approach like how system works if no more server is added or a one more server is added. So, and what if the tasks are divided between two people? Suppose during check-in, two people are associated for one task. Like one is checking, you're generating your boarding pass, and another is taking your bags and putting on the conveyor belt. So this way it will be easy because waiting will be so much effective when two people are handling one task. Ticket booths and toll booths, garages. Then hundred of other example can be simulated using the single server model, and the results can be used to save real time for real people. So multiple server system are usually not much more than slight variation on this, but a bank with three tailors is an example and is conceptually just three single server queues and possibly even one queue for all three servers. So what are the main questions to be answered by the simulation? So our main goal is to make a task easy, make some simulation so we can predict something. So our questions should be like how many passengers should be flow, accordingly how many servers do we need, and will it reduce the cost and time if we assign a more than one server for a task. So what will be the waiting time and how it will increase the cost. So how it respond if we reduce the server at one point and add more, what the traffic is when the traffic is more, right? So if we don't need too many servers, we can reduce the space. But if we think that the traffic is higher, if we increase some more servers, then it will uh, reduce the waiting time, and it ways the traffic is reduced. How much total waiting time will be, and can we reduce the waiting time without increasing cost and adding some other prospects? So as we know that for this we need some data structure. So this question is like what kind of data structure we use to implement this kind of queues in the simulation. So simulation is a helpful device to anticipate the constant changes that bring about an exceptionally powerful as the atom middle, and specifically it refers to the discrete event simulation because it's associated with the time and anticipate the constant changes in which the states factor fluctuate as were at of distinct event and decided in turn by movement and delay and not constantly adjusting flawlessly to the framework portrayed by system and combined with the limited infrastructure capability. So the available resources like check-in desk and security control checkpoints are considered as factor with a worth equivalent to 1 and on account of free state, and 0 if engaged. So at this point the queues are managed through hold of scan for condition type, in which block the phase allowing users to leave the queue and continue the path is inserted. Thank you.